Hello viewers, welcome back to the medical board exam experience with Dr. Kwafu. For international medical graduates who seek to practice in another country, the first thing you need to do is to pass the medical board exams of that particular country. The second most important thing to do is to build a very strong competitive CV that will make you stand out during the residency application process. There are many ways of building strong CV. Dr. Sebas is an international medical graduate who is currently into the obstetrics and gynecology residency program in Lincoln Hospital in New York. He has given 17 detailed ways of building a very strong CV. I will leave a link to that information under this YouTube video so you can check it out. To build a very strong CV for residency purpose, the most important required way is to have clinical experience or engage in research program in the country that you seek to practice. To get a hospital to host you to have such an experience is very difficult. It even becomes more difficult when you don't have visa to travel to that particular country. 2 years ago, I had my first clinical experience with Newark Beth Israel Medical Center in New Jersey. Today I want to share with us the process I went through to secure this opportunity, my experience, expectations, and all that I went through during the clinical days. Viewers, on this channel, I interview doctors who have successfully passed or failed any medical board exams to share their exam preparation experience with us and with all those preparing to write theirs. I encourage anyone watching me at this moment to kindly subscribe to this channel and also recommend this channel to any medical student or medical doctor who is preparing to write the board exams of any country. If you have experience with the board exams of any country and would like to share with us, kindly reach out to me on my Facebook page, Instagram, or leave a comment at the comment section under this video and I'll keep in touch. There are two groups of people who seek to get clinical experience in the US. The first group are people who have visas or had visa before beginning their clinical application process. The second group are people who need visa before traveling to US. I had visa during my application process, so my experience will fall within the group of people who have visa before beginning the application process. After sharing my experience, I'll also talk about the recommended process for those who need visa before beginning the application to go through to successfully secure a visa to get to have their clinical experience in the US. With my experience, viewers, first of all, I started in August 2017. I sent emails to a number of hospitals. I got response from only one hospital, and that hospital was St. Francis Medical Center in New Jersey. They responded to me that they do not offer clinical experience opportunities for foreigners. However, they offer volunteer, but they cannot assure me that I will get a volunteer in a medical setting. I was willing to take up any volunteer opportunity they will offer me. However, their terms and conditions and the number of hours I was supposed to engage myself into that volunteer activity was not favorable, so I gave up. In January 2018, I went back to the US again. This time, I decided to go to the hospitals personally. So I went to a number of hospitals with my father. We went to Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital in New Brunswick, New Jersey. We also went to Capital Health Medical Center. We also went to Penn Medicine Princeton Medical Center in Princeton, in New Jersey, and other hospitals. All these hospitals gave negative response, except Penn Medicine Princeton Medical Center in Princeton that initiated an application process with me. They gave me a link or a portal through which I was supposed to officially submit my application. However, as I went on with my application, I realized that they need someone who has already passed either step 1 or step 2. That time I did not have any of the steps, so I had to give up. After trying a number of hospitals but to no avail, I decided to fall on one of these agencies that help foreigners secure clinical opportunities. This agency took me through all the application process, did all medicals, provided all recommended documents, and I ended it with an HIPAA test. That is Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act test. It is a test that exposes you or tests you on the legalities in the US health system. It was a test of 20 questions and the passing mark was 16. After, I was given a hospital and the closest one was 50 minutes away from home. So I had to drive 50 minutes to the hospital and 50 minutes back home from the hospital. This agency charged $500 per week. I secured 1 month slot, and so I paid $2,000 for 1 month experience. On the first day when I went to the hospital, the doctor gave me a book, a pen, lip gloss, sanitizer, and few others, and I was also introduced to different areas in the hospital. I actually shadowed a doctor who had her private hospital but was also affiliated to the main hospital and was also working with other nursing homes. So on a typical working day, in the morning I followed the doctor to the ward for morning ward rounds. After, we will come back to her private clinic, which is in the same premises as the main hospital. Then we discuss the cases of the patients we went to visit in the morning. During the discussion, we will also be expecting some patients who have already booked appointment to see the doctor on that particular day. When this patient comes, the doctor first introduced me to the patient as a medical student who is still in the learning process. If the patient agrees, the doctor tells me few things that I have to do, then she leaves me with the patient. They take the vitals of the patient, the history, and also do ECG if necessary. After, I call the doctor to officially meet the patient. Sometimes we do have lunch together with the doctor. During the lunchtime, she used the opportunity to advise me, to tell me her life experience, and also we also discuss some of the cases that we've been seeing the previous days. As I stated earlier on, I spent $2,000 for 1 month experience. Was it expensive? Yes, very, very expensive. Was it worth it? Yes. Will I recommend it to anyone? Yes. I will recommend an agency to anyone who is struggling to get a hospital for free to have clinical experience. This is because, for instance, in my case, after I have finished the 1 month experience with the doctor told me to come back to her anytime I want. During that process, I also met other medical students who are currently in a position to help me or connect me to any hospital for any clinical experience that I need. So this and others is why I'm saying it is worth it and it is good for anybody who wants to have clinical experience to engage in an agency, so that though the first time is very difficult, but because of the subsequent opportunities you get after the first time, it is worth it to spend this amount to get yourself connected to people. So on my last day at the hospital, I actually bought some card and chocolate and few other things just to thank the doctor, because she did extremely well. She was very welcoming, and I bought some chocolate for her secretary that she works with at the clinic, and she also gave me a recommendation letter, which is actually the most important thing, or the reason why we all need to engage in such clinical experience. Now, to those who need visas, I wouldn't encourage you to first start with an agency. An agency will give you a letter, but that letter cannot secure visa for you. Personally, I have had experience with a number of people who went to an embassy with invitation letter from an agency and they reject them. So I wouldn't encourage anyone to rely on an invitation letter by an agency to get a visa. However, there are other reliable ways such as conferences and other opportunities available that you can use to apply for the B1, B2 visa. For instance, if you use a conference, you may get more than 1 month stay in the US. And so when you get that opportunity, you can use the remaining, after the conference, your remaining days of staying in the US to engage yourself quickly with an agency, or if you have more time, you write emails and contact hospitals, hopefully to get a free clinical experience. But if you do not have much time, you just, whilst you have your visa already and you're in the US, you engage yourself with an agency and they will quickly help you with the hospital for the first time. And after that first experience, you can easily get connected with other hospitals and get your own opportunities or clinical experience. So viewers, this is my experience. I will leave the link to hospitals that actually give opportunities to foreigners. I will leave the link under this YouTube video so you can follow it up. I also leave a link to the application portal for Penn Medical Hospital for anybody who has the steps and wants to apply for such experience with Penn Hospital. Viewers, if you need further information, kindly leave your comments under the comment section and I'll respond to you, or reach out to me on any of my social media platforms. Please don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.